There's a silence that follows us into old age. A silence filled with words we never said, feelings we never expressed, truths we never dared to speak aloud. And for many elders, this silence becomes heavier with time. It's not the moments we live that way the most. It's the conversations we avoided, the ones we told ourselves we'd get to someday, until that day never came. Today, we're talking about the 5 final conversations most older adults deeply regret never having, until it's far too late. Before we begin, I want to ask you something important. Have you had any of these conversations yet? If not, which one are you avoiding? Leave a comment below. I read every single one. And if you believe in meaningful dialogue, in the power of reflection, then please subscribe. This channel is a place for honest voices and heartfelt wisdom. Let's begin, because some words just can't wait forever. 1. The conversation with a child you grew distant from. Time has a strange way of softening the edges of pain, but it never fully erases distance, especially the emotional kind that forms between a parent and a child. For many elders, one of the greatest regrets isn't about something they did, but about a connection they let fade. Years go by, holidays become quieter, birthdays are missed, and eventually, there's an unspoken agreement. It's just easier not to reach out. But easier doesn't mean better, and it certainly doesn't mean right. The conversation that never happens often starts with something as simple as, "I miss you," or "Can we talk?" Yet it's weighed down by years of misunderstandings, past conflicts, or pride. Maybe your child made choices you didn't agree with. Maybe you said things you wish you could take back. Maybe there was no dramatic moment, just a slow drifting apart. Here's the truth that hits hard. By the time many older adults realize the silence needs breaking, it's too late. Their child is no longer emotionally reachable, or sometimes no longer alive. I've heard stories from countless seniors who replay their last real conversation over and over in their minds, wishing they'd said something different, or said anything at all. There's a common thread among them. "I thought there would be more time." What we forget is that reconciliation doesn't always mean solving everything. Sometimes it just means reaching out, opening the door, even a little, saying, "I was wrong," or "I'm listening now." That effort, that humility, it can change everything. It can mend years in a single afternoon. If you're listening to this and there's a child, biological or otherwise, who's become a stranger to you, I urge you to reflect. Ask yourself, is the silence worth carrying to the end of my days? Because I promise you, it becomes heavier with each passing year. Leave a comment if this resonates with you. Have you had this conversation? Are you thinking of making that call? Your words might inspire someone else to pick up the phone tonight. And remember, subscribing to this channel means you're joining a community that values reconciliation, courage, and heart-to-heart truths. We don't shy away from hard talks here. We embrace them. When we return, we'll talk about another deeply avoided conversation, one that haunts many until their final breath. 2. The apology you never gave to the one who deserved it most. There's a unique kind of weight that follows an unspoken apology. It lingers, quietly, in the mind and heart, sometimes for decades. And among elders, this is one of the most painful regrets, never finding the courage to say, "I'm sorry," when it truly mattered. Not because it was impossible, but because pride, fear, or time made it feel unnecessary or too hard. Think back. Is there someone in your past you hurt, knowingly or not? A spouse you betrayed emotionally, even in silence? A sibling you had a falling out with over something that feels small now? A friend you let down and never truly acknowledged? Maybe you were younger, overwhelmed, or just doing the best you could. But age has a way of clarifying what really mattered. And often, it's not the conflict. It's the absence of the apology that follows. Some people convince themselves that they already know "I'm sorry." But deep down, we all know, there's something sacred about hearing the words, about giving someone the dignity of receiving a genuine, heartfelt apology, not just assuming they've moved on. An apology isn't about weakness. It's about humanity, and it doesn't always require a long explanation. Sometimes all it takes is saying, "I see now how I hurt you, and I'm truly sorry." You don't need to rehash the entire past to make peace. You just need to take responsibility for your part of the pain. What's heartbreaking is how many elders only admit this regret in hospice care, in letters never sent, or whispered to a nurse who can't fix what time has already sealed. They imagine what could have changed had they just reached out. Sometimes, all someone ever needed to hear was that you recognized the pain you caused, that you didn't brush it aside, that you cared enough to name it. It's easy to say, they wouldn't accept it anyway. But is that the truth? Or is that your fear talking? What if, instead, your apology is what opens the door to healing for both of you? If someone came to your mind while listening to this, don't push it aside. Write their name down. Reflect. Ask yourself honestly, what's stopping me from saying what I should have said long ago? Drop a comment below if this stirred something in you. Have you ever carried the weight of an apology too long? Or have you received one late in life that changed everything? I'd love to hear your story. And if this message speaks to your heart, please subscribe. These are the conversations that matter, ones that could make the difference between regret and release. Up next, we'll talk about a different kind of conversation, one not born from pain, but from love, a truth that so many wish they'd spoken sooner. 3. Telling someone you truly love them before it was too late. Love is the most powerful force we'll ever feel, and yet, so many of us leave it unspoken. Not because we didn't feel it, but because we assumed they knew. Because we didn't know how to say it. Because the moment never felt right. Among older adults, this is a heartbreakingly common regret. I never told them how much I really love them. This isn't just about romantic love. It could be a parent who raised you with quiet sacrifice. A lifelong friend who stood by you through every storm. A grandchild who brought light into your later years. Or yes, a partner. Maybe even the only person you ever truly felt seen by, but you never found the courage to say those 3 simple words. And sometimes, it's not just I love you. It's you meant everything to me. You made my life better. You were the reason I kept going. You'd be surprised how many elders confess this in their final days. Tears in their eyes, hands trembling, voice low. I wish I had told them. It's not that we don't feel love deeply. We do. But we forget that people need to hear it. Not through actions alone. Not through assumptions. Through words. Direct, vulnerable, real. Why do we hold it in? Because we're afraid of seeming weak. Because we were raised in households where affection was silent. Because we tell ourselves, I'll say it next time. Until there is no next time. There are people walking through this world right now wondering if they were truly loved. If they mattered. If they made a difference. And maybe, just maybe, they need to hear it from you. Think about it. That friend who always checked on you, but you never said, you're one of the best parts of my life. That sibling who stood in your corner even when no one else did. That nurse or neighbor who treated you with unexpected kindness during a hard chapter. Or that partner who has sat by your side for 40, maybe 50 years. Do they know the depth of your gratitude? We think love is obvious, but unspoken love can feel invisible. I'm going to ask you something bold. Tonight, before you go to sleep, reach out to one person, just one, and tell them, clearly, fully, without hesitation, that you love them, that you're grateful for them, that they've made your life better, even if they didn't know it. And if that feels scary, then it probably means it's the conversation that matters most. Drop a comment below and tell me, who came to mind just now? Who have you been meaning to say, I love you to, but haven't found the words or moment yet? Your story might encourage someone else to speak their truth today. And don't forget to subscribe, because here, we say the things that shouldn't be left unsaid. We honor love, not with silence, but with voice. Next, we'll face a conversation many people put off for decades, until the burden of the unknown becomes too heavy to carry. 4. Talking honestly about what you want at the end of your life. No one wants to talk about dying. It's uncomfortable, emotional, and often met with fear or denial. But here's the truth that too many elders learn too late. Not having this conversation leaves your loved ones guessing, overwhelmed, and sometimes divided, right when they need clarity the most. Talking about what you want at the end of your life isn't about giving up. It's about taking control. It's about easing the burden on the people you care about. And yet, so many of us put it off. We say, I'll write that down later. Or, they know what I'd want. But do they really? Here's what I've learned from listening to hundreds of families in crisis. The absence of clear wishes can lead to confusion, guilt, arguments, and long-term emotional scars. Children wonder, did we do the right thing? Spouses carry the weight of decisions they weren't prepared to make. And what could have been a peaceful, loving farewell becomes a fog of uncertainty and pain. And all of it could have been avoided with a conversation. One conversation. What should you talk about? Start with the basics. Do you want to be kept alive by machines if you can no longer speak or recognize your family? Would you prefer to pass away at home or in a hospital setting? Who do you trust to make medical decisions for you if you can't? Do you want a funeral, a memorial, or something simpler? Have you written down your wishes or told anyone where to find them? It's not just about paperwork, it's about peace. For you, for them. This conversation might make your children uncomfortable. They might say, let's not talk about that right now. But sometimes you need to lead them through it because you've lived long enough to know that silence is not safety. And it's not just medical, it's emotional too. Do the people you love know what legacy matters most to you? Have you shared what kind of goodbye you'd want? What song to play? What story to tell? What values you hope they carry on? These are not just logistics. They are acts of love. One elderly woman once told me, I planned my death so my family could focus on living. And they did, because she was brave enough to speak when it was hardest. If you've already had this talk, share your experience in the comments. Did it bring you closer to your family? Was it harder than you expected, or easier? Your story could help someone find the courage to speak today. And if you haven't had the conversation yet, maybe today is the day you start. Even a small beginning matters. Please subscribe if you believe in preparing not just for life, but for the end of it, with grace, clarity, and love. This channel is about facing the things that matter most with dignity. Coming up next, the final conversation so many never have, one that requires looking inward and making peace with yourself. 5. Making peace with yourself, the conversation within. There's a moment, often late in life, when the noise of the world quiets down. The visits become less frequent. The days stretch a little longer. And in that stillness, many elders find themselves face to face with the one person they've spent a lifetime avoiding, themselves. This is the final, most personal conversation. And for many, it's the one filled with the deepest regret, not because they didn't try to have it, but because they never believed they needed to. We spend so much of life focused outward, raising children, building careers, navigating relationships, surviving loss. But how often do we stop and sit with ourselves, truly? Not to criticize, not to rehash every mistake, but to simply say, this is who I became. This is what I lived through, and this is what I still carry. So many elders admit, in whispers and quiet tears, that they never truly forgave themselves. For the marriage that ended, for the child they lost touch with, for not chasing that dream, for the temper they couldn't control, for the risks they were too afraid to take, or the people they hurt along the way, even if they tried to make it right. Here's what no one tells you. Making peace with yourself isn't about pretending the pain didn't happen. It's about acknowledging it and choosing to no longer let it define you. Ask yourself, have I forgiven the younger version of me who didn't know better? Have I acknowledged the strength it took to keep going, even when no one saw? Have I allowed myself to be human, not perfect? You see, many of us carry around a version of ourselves that only sees the failures, the flaws, the what-ifs. We forget the quiet acts of courage, the sacrifices we made for others, the kindnesses that went unnoticed, the endurance that brought us to this very moment. Elders who find peace near the end often do so because they finally, bravely, looked inward and spoke the words they never dared to say. I forgive you. I'm proud of you. You did the best you could. And if there are things you still long to do, write the letter, tell the story, say the truth. It's not too late. Not yet. Every breath is a chance to begin again, to free yourself from the weight of silence. So I'm asking you now, gently but clearly, have you had this conversation? Not with your children, not with your spouse, but with the reflection in the mirror. What would it take for you to look into your own eyes and say, I've lived a life that mattered? If you're willing, share a piece of that journey in the comments. What part of yourself are you learning to forgive? What have you learned to accept? Your story may give someone else permission to heal. And if this speaks to your soul, if these conversations matter to you, please subscribe. This community is here to hold space for your truth. No judgment, just wisdom, earned the hard way, and shared with heart. Next, we'll wrap up everything we've shared today with a conclusion that invites you to take the first step towards speaking what must be said. We walk through life believing there will always be more time, more chances, more words waiting for the right moment. But in the end, it's not the missed opportunities or faded memories that haunt us most. It's the conversations we never had, the silence we allowed to settle in place of truth. You've just heard the 5 most common final conversations elders regret avoiding. But this doesn't have to be your story. You still have time. You still have a voice. And someone, somewhere, is waiting to hear it. So I'll ask you one last time. Which conversation have you been avoiding? Comment below. Say it aloud. Begin. And if this video stirred something in you, if you believe in the power of honesty, healing, and reflection, subscribe. Because here, we speak the truths that matter. Not just before it's too late, but while we still can.